We are having a good sunny summer. Living in Lancashire, we are not being affected by severe drought conditions, and the short spells of rain have kept our area greener compared to other areas of the country. After this wet morning, the sun returned and the garden is buzzing again. In the small lawn meadow, the hawksbeard and lesser knapweed have appeared, and the St John's wort has opened along with the goldenrod and the more traditional border flowers. It's time to cut back the large showy campanula now that it's nearly finished flowering, to allow more light for the later flowering border plants. Our native wildflowers are still fan favourites for the bees. I've decided to dig up some rudbeckia plants. It's too shaded in their present position. I'm moving them into a much sunnier position and hope they have enough time to flower before the winter starts. Our no more lawn area, which hasn't been cut since early April, is looking a bit scruffy. Mowing the path through the lawn will give it a more defined appearance. In July, we had a lull in the amount of butterflies, but August has brought out a new generation of peacock butterflies into our garden. I wasn't sure about the crocosmia, but it's certainly attracting the bees. We've also had a few small skippers from the surrounding fields. At this time of year, the pond becomes choked with pondweed, so I've removed some, and by leaving it on the side of the pond, it allows the aquatic life to return to the water. The ants that have been living under our patio slabs have become very excited this morning because the male drones and virgin queens are being sent out to mate and start new colonies. After the mating, the males will die and the new queens will remove their wings and start a new colony. Within an hour, it's all over. Oh yes, there's a nest and there's been 3 eggs in it already and they've deserted.
They've deserted?
Yeah, a nest with 3 eggs in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've deserted. I'll empty it out. Well, it looked like our great tits have failed this year. They've laid 3 eggs and they must have deserted because they were owned by the magpies. It's a shame. It's been a real good year for the bees, and the peacock butterflies love the nectar that our garden supplies. Up in Lancashire, there's not many evenings in the year that I can sit out and enjoy the moment, just enjoying the ambience of the garden in the golden evening light. And if you listen carefully, the sounds of croaking frogs can be heard hidden in the nooks and crannies around the garden. Around the middle of August, another spell of welcoming rain. This has freshened up the purple loosestrife. The water boatmen are dominating the pond, but I haven't seen many pond skaters. I have my doubts about the birdfoot trefoil I grew from seed. It's a bit of a thug and has spread all around the pond. It's much taller than our own native plant. I'm almost sure that these dragonflies are common hawkers, and every day we see some laying their eggs around our pond. It's now the first week in September, and the garden, I will admit, is looking a bit tatty. We've just had 2.5 weeks holiday, and when I've come back now I'm quite shocked. It really is want a good tidying up. The lawn's grown really long, it's past its best now, all the flowers have gone, so I'm going to cut it back, and also I'm going to cut a lot of the flower heads back because they've all gone to seed. It doesn't look as though we've had much rain, and some of the flowers have suffered. So even though we're in the first week in September, there should still be some colour. I see there's a few butterflies about because it's still warm today. It's about 23 degrees. Anyway, we'll have to see how we go on in the next 2 or 3 days. On the Rudbeckia, we've had a specklewood butterfly, and another generation of red admirals have shown up around the garden. I've set the moor to its highest setting, so all the seed that has fallen will be protected by the higher stubble. Well, that's it for my garden diary for August and early September. We've had some rain this morning and it's certainly done the lawn good, which I cut back yesterday. It's also topped up the pond. I'll be making another video in October when our garden slowly slips into autumn. So that's about all for now. Cheerio.